Hey there, real fast, I would like to explain to you how to do these flowcharts, because as we're doing these mock congressional hearings in class, I'm going to be expecting you to be following along with these flowcharts that I'm going to be looking over later. So what you can see here on the screen in front of you, and I'm going to make sure these are all going to be in front of you when you're in class, is 3 different columns right here. In each of these columns, you're going to be writing stuff as the speakers speak. So for example, over here, argument. This is going to be a claim that these speakers are going to be making about their argument. Okay, this can be something that's very, very broad, or it can be something very, very simple. So right away, we're just going to start with a simple argument of something that's near and dear to my heart and wonderful. Pie is better than cake. Okay, so I'm going to make an argument that pie is better than cake. I'm going to be speaking to the person here. Okay, I'm going to be saying like pie is better than cake because pie is easier to eat. Okay, it doesn't fall apart, whereas cake falls apart. Now that's going to be an argument that I'm going to make. So as I'm sitting in class, I'm the one following along. Right over here where it says argument, I need to go ahead and write that down. So my argument was pie is easier, E-A-S, I can't spell today, to eat than cake. Okay, that's going to be the first argument that I'm going to make. Now it's going to be right over here. Now, the important thing is I'm going to go through, I'm going to make a number of arguments when I'm speaking. You're not going to make just one argument. You're going to make a whole bunch of different arguments. Making a flowchart like this allows you to understand, one, what the arguments are, but number two, it allows you to make sure that you attack the other arguments and make sure you counter everything, and that you can adequately defend the different arguments being made. Okay. I'd also recommend that you probably want to number these. It's going to be a little easier for you to follow that way. So argument number 1 is that pie is easier to eat than cake. Now, if I'm in the rebuttal stage, so after you've gone through, okay, the first 4 minutes over there, we're going to be the argument section where you're going to be speaking directly to the class and everything like that. The rebuttal stage is going to be the questions that I'm going to be asking those individuals in the class. So for example, if I have a number of students during their mock congressional hearings make the argument that pie is better than cake because pie is easier to eat. Now as a teacher, I'm going to be taking one of these as well. I realize that I need to counter that argument that they made that pie is easier to eat than cake. So my rebuttal might be something like, not necessarily, it depends on who you are. Okay, so my argument is going to be something like, depends upon what, let's think, it depends upon how you eat your cake. Okay, so my argument is it depends upon how you eat your cake, and what kind. Also, it could depend on what kind of pie you are eating. Some types of pie might be easier to eat than others. Some types of cake might be easier to eat than certain types of pie. If I'm talking about like a cheesecake, it's going to be roughly the same way to eat as a pie. Therefore, their argument falls. So if my argument was it depends how you eat it, I'm going to state this. Now, as I ask that person or ask that to the group of 4 during their mock congressional hearings, it's up to them to respond. Okay, so over here is does it hold up and why? We're going to go down to number 1 and thinking I'm going to ask this question. Okay, so 4 people speaking make the argument that pie is easier to eat than cake. I make the rebuttal, me the teacher, that depends upon how you eat your cake. Now they're going to respond to my question. Right here is where you need to answer or explain how they responded to their question. So maybe for example, they didn't directly respond to the rebuttal that it depends upon how you eat your cake. Okay, so they didn't directly respond to the rebuttal, but how it eats your cake. Maybe they respond in kind of a roundabout way. No, pie is easier to eat than cake at all times because cake is flaky. Cake you can fall apart. Blah 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 blah. Cake just does this. They don't actually respond to what I'm saying in the rebuttal. You're going to want to make sure you take note of that. So if they responded or didn't directly respond to the rebuttal that depends upon how you eat your cake, does it hold up? The answer to that is no, it does not hold up. Okay, this is what you're going to import. So you answer right here, no, it does not hold up, and why is all of this stuff right here. They didn't directly respond to the rebuttal. So you're going to be doing this for every single argument that they make in class. Okay, some of them might be hard to follow along with. That's okay for the first couple of times. Do your best. Make sure you're not interrupting anyone as you go through this. But I want you to be able to track these and go home. Take these. We're going to look at what arguments were made, what arguments weren't made, and going from there. Please ask me any questions you have when you get to class in the morning about these because it's important you understand what's going on. Send me an email if you need to do that as well. Otherwise, we'll be starting these tomorrow in class. Thanks for paying attention. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the morning.